All right, so after doing the last video on the candle cost and keeping it under $5, I got a lot of questions about getting into more of an expensive vessel or a luxury type candle. And that is a lot of people talking about their costs being a lot higher than $5 because they're using a little bit nicer waxes, they're going for a more expensive vessel, and they're using nicer oils, which of course will bump up the cost considerably. So I wanted to go back over, go to a website that offers a little bit more higher end or luxury type items and go through the candle cost calculator and figure out what the cost would be. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this one. I'm gonna pull up the Makesy website and we're going for a little bit more of a high-end candle in this one. Higher end wax, higher end oils, higher end vessels. After the last video, I wanted to show something that was a little bit more than $5 to show what the pricing would be, kind of what you would go after if you're gonna be doing wholesale or retail with a little bit more expensive products. So we're going to jump over to the Makesy website and let's go ahead and start off with the wax. We're going to jump into the coconut wax. The virgin coconut soy is probably my favorite from Makesy. So we're going to go ahead and add a case of that. So 44 pounds is $205.95. We're going to add that to cart. Go back up. We're going to add our vessels. And if you're going to be doing a higher end vessel, it's usually good to get a little bit bigger vessel. That way you can charge a little bit more for it. You can get an 8, 9, 10 ounce vessel and do pretty well with it. But if you're going to be going for a higher end price, you definitely want to get, or it's a little easier, I guess, if you go to like 12, 14, or 16 ounce. So we're going to jump into one of the vessels. I'm going to grab the Aura, which is one of my favorite vessels. I'm going to grab 4 cases of this for $276. We're going to add that to cart. And like I was saying, it's a little bit easier to get a higher end price, $30, $40, $50 for a candle if it's going to be a little bit bigger. It definitely gives a little bit more value or perception of value to the customer. We're going to go back over and we're going to grab some wicks. And I'm just going to grab the cotton wicks in this one. You can do wood. Either one works just fine. And I'm just going to grab, I don't know if this is the actual wick that fits that vessel, but they're all about the same price. So we're going to grab a 100 pack at $15.95. I'm going to grab some lids also for the candles. Now you don't necessarily need a lid, but we're going to go full out just to see what it does or what the price comes out to. So candle lids. And actually we're going to go with the thin metal lid on this one. Let me see if this fits the Aura. Okay, so this does fit the 12 ounce Aura. And we're going to go with, let's see what we've got here. I'm just going to grab the white one on this one, and I'm going to grab 4 cases. All right, so what do we have in our cart right now? We've got the lid, the wicks, the vessel, the wax, and let's grab an oil. And we're going to grab a little bit different oil than we grabbed in the last video. The last one was just a basic oil for kind of getting the job done. I'm going to go ahead and grab this dark rose, 16 ounces at $69.95. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump over to the cart. And the nice thing about this one is I'm not even gonna go through and put shipping because we've gotten to a dollar amount that gives us free shipping. So let me see, we've got the vessel, the wax, the wick, the oil, and the lid. I haven't added anything like wick stickers or anything like that. So wick stickers are just a few cents. So we'll add that when we do the cost calculator. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out and jump over to the calculator real quick. And I've got the calculator at DIY Maker Market. If you go up to the Learn tab and hit Candle Cost Calculator, it'll bring you to this page where we can enter everything. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the price for the wax, which is $205.95, 44 pounds. The vessels are $276 for 48. The wicks are $15.95 for 100. Fragrance oil is $69.95 for 16 ounces. The lids are $127.44 for 48 of those. And then for the labels, I'm just going to do the exact same thing I did in the last video, which is $20 or around $20 for 225 labels. That's an Avery label that you can print at home. And we're doing a 12-ounce candle, 8% fragrance load at 0 shipping. And you can see right here, this instantly pulls up the cost per candle is $16.36, which means if you're going by the regular metric that a lot of people use, cost times 2 is wholesale, cost times 4 is retail. We're looking at $32.72 for a wholesale price and $65.44 for a retail price. Now, of course, that's getting into a very high market, which a lot of people are not in. And this is where anybody that comes to me for advice on pricing their candles, getting into retail and stuff like that, this is one where I would tell somebody not to use that regular metric unless you're in a market. Say if you're selling these candles in Beverly Hills or something like that, or a market like that, you can probably get $65.44 or around that price for a candle. But if we're just doing regular markets or anything like that, $65.44 is probably a bit more than we can actually charge for that vessel. Now, me personally, I do sell the 12-ounce auras. I've sold those for $35 to $40, $30 to $35 very easy. And you can see right there, our wholesale price is $32.72. So this is where I would probably tell somebody not to really go after the full cost metric on this one, just because it's going to be very hard to get that full price out of this one. So if somebody's making these at a cost of $16.36, and it would actually, I'm going to go ahead and bump that up to 25 cents to add in for the wick stickers, electricity, or anything like that, anything that I've forgotten. So $16.61, you can sell that candle pretty easy from $30 to $35. So this is where I would tell somebody, probably don't go after the wholesale market with something like this one, unless they're in a market where they can justify that. And again, like I said, the pricing is all subjective, where you are, the market you're in, the demographic you're in, the city that you're in. But anytime somebody has come to me with a cost this high, I definitely tell them, or I advise them to maybe get away from doing wholesale, unless you're not going to be getting the full amount of your wholesale. So if you made this for $16.61 and you sold it to somebody for $20 to $25, $20, you're not really making a huge profit, but if they're buying enough, like 100 candles, you're making a decent profit. And then they're able to turn around and sell that candle for $35 to $40. But with a candle like this, I know me personally, I would probably cap this at $35, and I would not offer wholesale, and I would just sell it at retail. And then the other thing I wanted to do on this one, and I have sold these vessels without the lids. So what I want to do is eliminate the lids. And if we do that, our base cost goes down to $13.96. with a wholesale price of $27.91 and a retail price of $55.82. Now, if you're going to be doing these, you can probably take the lids out, and it's not going to be a huge deterrent from anybody that might be wanting to buy wholesale from you or even retail from you. So you can actually bump up your overall profit a little bit if you remove the lids. All right, so that's pretty much it with this one. I just wanted to go through, show what the differences would be, and show kind of what you can do to still keep the profits up there, and show what you can do to keep the profits up there if you are selling candles in a little bit higher end market. Now, of course, like I said a few minutes ago, this is all subjective. In pricing, you can do whatever you want, whatever fits your area, whatever fits your city, and whatever fits your brand. Because of course, not everybody is going to be able to sell one of these candles for $40, $50, and $60. So I wanted to provide a little bit of an insight into what you can do and kind of how to get around that. So I hope that was helpful. If anybody out there is in a kind of a luxury market or higher end market, I'd love to know what you think of it. And of course, if you have any questions or if I missed anything in the video, please let me know in the comment section down below, and we'll see you in the next video.